Hey everyone, welcome to Bicycle Touring Talk. My name is George
the one and only.
and I am recalling a bicycle tour that took me coast to coast across Canada in the summer of 2017. Last episode I had made it to Calgary. It wasn't even planned that way, but a booking.com mishap kind of had me scrambling, and so I ended up there. See, I live in Edmonton, and part of my route plan included a stop at the house. Barbara wasn't home because she was traveling too, so I was going to pass by, make sure all is okay, cut the grass, and carry on a day or two later. Calgary to Edmonton, that's about 300 kilometers. When I left the thrift lodge, the weather looked nice. The rain had ended and sunshine was now brightening up the city. What a difference! It took a while to navigate, but much of the way north was on trails and through neighborhoods with little traffic. Once I was outside of town, following a range road straight north, I was hopeful that this would remain a good route option. However, soon this lightly traveled road turned into a rough gravel road, and I had to navigate my way toward Airdrie and Highway 2 North, also known as the QE2. Thankfully, there's Highway 2A, which could best be described as the local road, leading through all the little towns and villages along the way, but also disappearing onto the main highway here and there. It turned out that this wasn't really a huge problem though. I made it to the town of Carstairs pretty easily and found a park with tourist information and picnic table. This got me a free road map of our province and a place to set up my little stove and cook some noodles with stew mixed in. I was finally using some food that I had been hauling for hundreds of kilometers.
It's a late lunch or an early supper. Stew from a can. Beautiful day today, finally out of the rain.
The weather was picture perfect. Alberta no longer looked like hell. The route continued along the 2A through the town of Olds, and then the much smaller Bowden. Bowden appeared to be almost a bit of a ghost town. There were businesses along my route that were obviously abandoned, and the residential areas, they seemed eerily quiet. It was getting late, and I was starting to wonder where I could set up camp for the night. Leaving Bowden, the highway merged with the QE2. I had really no idea how long this was going to continue like that, so I was a bit hesitant at first. But the town of Innisfail was only about 12 kilometers away. While stealth camping was on my mind and I was keeping my eyes open for the ideal spot, this area is very flat and there are not many places to hide. Also, the lower lying areas were very damp due to the recent rain. In Innisfail, I took the exit for Highway 54 and followed it into town. There were signs toward a campground. Perhaps there was a tent site for me at a reasonable price. This turned out to be my best bet. The campground was basically empty. $20 got me a secure spot and a shower. You really can't argue with that. It was getting dark as I was setting up the tent. I enjoyed my shower and fell asleep as soon as I crawled into the sleeping bag. Innisfail to Edmonton is still over 200 kilometers. I really wasn't expecting to do that in a single day. The first thing after leaving the campground was a breakfast special at McDonald's. Not the most nutritious, but sure as hell convenient. According to my map, there was another section of Highway 2A up to Red Deer. This was definitely good news. The ride was surprisingly quick. Red Deer is not bike friendly. But it's not a very big city neither, and much of my route was actually on bike trails or bike lanes. Well, sort of. Those are probably some of the worst bike lanes ever designed. At every intersection you have to swerve to follow the trail. Then there are those traffic islands and the impatient drivers who always seem to get priority over everyone else.
About this bike trail. I mean, it might be marginally safer than the road, but look at.
Red Deer is not bike friendly, but I think I already mentioned that. Oh, and I actually got lost in that town following what I thought was Highway 2A.
I can't see where the 2A goes, so hopefully there'll be a sign.
This somehow led me to a route that is known as the C&E Trail, Calgary to Edmonton. Cool. While most of the so-called trail was road, it did not connect for the car traffic, but for cycling, there was a bridge. This was a pretty sweet ride after all, but I was never really sure if it was going to end up in the cul-de-sac or not. I finally rejoined Highway 2A in Black Falls and stayed on it through Lacombe. The ride was now going extremely well. Without any effort, I was maintaining a speed of over 25 kilometers an hour. What was the cause of that, you may wonder? Tailwind. Every once in a while, tailwind will surprise you and do amazing things. I was back on the QE2 for a bit, up to Morningside.
So I'm in Morningside, and it's afternoon, but just seemed like a good place to stop and have lunch because it's already 2:30. But my ride today so far is going really well. I got about 115 kilometers to go to Edmonton, and I will definitely get there today. The wind is working on my side today. It's blowing from behind me, so as long as it stays like that, it's going to be quite easy.
That's where I stopped for lunch and ate what I described as the best sandwich ever.
Best sandwich ever.
Food tastes amazing when you burn calories by the thousands on your bike. I probably could have eaten cat food and it would have been tasty. After Morningside, which is a really small village by the way, the ride continued the same way right through Ponoka. The next stop was only in Wetaskiwin for a summer dollar drink and ice cream at McDonald's. Empty calories and water I was craving because this was now a ride in 30-degree heat. The sun was setting as I was nearing Edmonton from Nisku. At that point, I didn't care how long it would take. I would sleep at home in my own bed. All of a sudden, this had a huge appeal. The tailwind persisted. This was amazing. On the way through Edmonton, I remembered that it was Monday. bike building night at Edmonton Bicycle Commuters at the time. I decided to stop in and say hello. My bottom bracket on the bike had developed a clunking noise that was coming and going. It was quiet in the morning and at night, probably due to cooler temperatures, but in the heat it was definitely present. I would have to visit the bike shop again before continuing my big tour, which was possible because as a volunteer I was allowed to use the shop. The last few kilometers through town were way past 9 p.m. and in the dark, but this was familiar territory. Then I arrived at the house. This had been the longest ride of this tour so far, 206 kilometers. I was really tired and not really ready for any kind of surprise. But the backyard didn't look like our backyard at all. Barbara and I like a natural looking yard. We're not picky with the grass and the weeds. So stuff grows back there, and boy did it grow. It had been about a month since I had cut the grass. We get perfect growing conditions in the spring here. Enough rain and lots of sunshine. We also get the occasional storm. A tree branch had broken off the big poplar tree and fallen right onto the old metal shed. This did not look good. It meant that I would have to work on the yard during my supposedly relaxing couple of days at home. It meant renting a chainsaw, hauling away branches, and after cleaning up the wood, the grass needed a major cut. We do not own a power mower. All we have is this reel mower, the manual one. Was this going to be the end of my tour? How long before I could carry on? And was I even going to be in the shape or the mood for the tour? Whoever said that riding across Canada from coast to coast was going to be a cakewalk? I'll tell you about it next week. Yes, this video is part of a series, all to be found in the playlist on the screen right about now. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button. And if you're new here, you're definitely invited to become a subscriber. Hey, it's free, and some of my content may surprise you. Not all of it is about cycling or bicycle touring. So I'll see you soon. Awesome.